And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're reacting to Tigres UANL versus Vancouver Whitecaps FC Leagues Cup 2026 League Phase. Match day 3. Match 3. Vancouver's already eliminated from this tournament with their 2 losses, which shockingly came to Atlante and Juarez. And now they're playing in Mexico at Estadio or at El Volcan. This is not going to be pretty. Tigres UANL contra Vancouver Whitecaps FC, la Leagues Cup fase de grupos, partido 3, jornada 3. Tigres posible avanzar. Vancouver eliminado al momento. Starting 11s are as follows: Nahuel Guzman in goal, the back 4 of Garza, Joaquim, Franco, and Reyes, Cesar Araujo and Fernando Gorejan, Oziel Herrera, Juan Bruneta, Diego Lainez, and Rodrigo Buffalo Aguirre. For Vancouver Whitecaps in goal, Isaac Bemer, the back 4 of Djurjevic, Matthias Laborda, Tristan Blackman, Sam Atakubi, Oliver Larraz, JC Ngondo, Cheek Sabali, Ryan Gould, Javon Badwal, and Ryan Alumi up top for Vancouver Whitecaps. Yeah, there was a penalty shootout in the last game. That's why I was late. I could have got on here a little bit quicker, but either way, more because of the penalty shootout than anything. Blue Jays are back to 3 back, but I think they would stay that way even if the Twins lose. I think. Either way. Also be helpful if the Rangers lost. No Watermuller available for this one. Well, yeah. Because they're already out. Damn that shootout. Atlas and Cincy getting real. Atlas leading Cincy. Well, that's good for the Portland Timbers. That's a helpful moment. Come on, Atlas. Hold on for Portland's sake. Hold on for Portland's sake. I don't like Atlas, but hold on. Minnesota Atlante, a 1-1 draw. Charlotte Pachuca, 0-0. Salt Lake Juarez, 0-0. Columbus top with 8 points. Cincinnati down at 6. If Portland wins, they'll have more goals than Cincy, so that's good news. Charlotte, a 7-point draw. And right now, Real Salt Lake, 0-0 with 5 points. Keep Cincy as the frauds they are. I just want Portland to get help, that's all. No German discipline. Well, I mean, they don't need it. The game's over. The tournament's over. Pumas has a 1 point off a draw. And in the Central American Cup, we had a 5-2 win for Plaza Amador. Real Esteli and Alianza and Saprissa Deportivo Mixco are about to begin. Blue Jays won, which is a good news. The Blue Jays won. They're 3 back as it stands of a wild card spot. Orioles are leading the Twins. So, we should still be 3 back, though. Evander's shown up in the games for Cincy. Hey, at least he's a big game player now. Who's worse, Chivas or Pumas? I mean, in the league, I would say Pumas. In the Leagues Cup, I'd say they both suck. But either way, in the league, I'd say they both suck. We'll review this game once it's over, and we'll be back. For the review. Here we go. Teams walking out. Tigres with their blue jerseys. Vancouver with their white jerseys. Here we go. Blue Jays win again, boys. Let's go. Since he just got a penalty canceled, Lol. 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 Waiting for the second half to start. Blue Jays win. They've at least split the series with the Red Sox. See what they do for the rest of it. If they could take 3 or 4, that would be awesome. If they could take all 4, that'd be good. Blue Jays are 6-4 in their last 10. Better than the Orioles. Better than everybody in the AL. Except for the equal or better than everybody in the AL except for the Detroit Tigers and the Tampa Bay Rays. Can you tell me if RSL scored? So far, no, but there's a VAR check in the game. 0-0. VAR check for a penalty. VAR check for a penalty for Salt Lake. There's a VAR check for a penalty for Salt Lake. Which they're at 5 points. Well, they lost the shootout to Tigres, so they were at 4. If they take the lead, they'll be at 7 points, which is not exactly good for Portland. But Cincinnati are still losing 1-2. Here we are, 0-0. Why is Kobe on the bench, bro? I have no idea. Ask Master Wenny. And it's a 1-0 lead. Penalty goal for Salt Lake. 1-0 Salt Lake. Morgan Guilavogui scores the penalty for Salt Lake. Maybe Master Wenny doesn't trust his youth players. 1-0 to Salt Lake, and Atlas has beaten Cincinnati. Cincinnati has lost to Atlas. Cincinnati bottled it. Ivan Bartone, the center ref. Oh, Paraguay, number 10, cover his mouth. Decision is red card. Mr. Ivan Bartone, the meme. Guillermo Pacheco, the biggest meme of the World Cup. Ivan Bartone. 1-1 between Atlante and Minnesota. 0-0 between Charlotte and Pachuca. Well, that doesn't matter, I guess. Salt Lake, second with the lead with the 7 points. Cincinnati, fourth with 6. They're on the bubble. Charlotte sitting third with 7 points. Man's always on the bench or not playing. Here we go. Portland's the last game on the last match day, so they're going to know if they have a chance to be in or out with a win and how much they would need to win by. Here we go, and we're off. 0-0, settle. Zilla Fatu showed up in NXT. Well, I'm not surprised. That was obviously going to happen if you read the news. Either way, 0-0, settle. Here we go. This game should be over by 11, and we'll review it. 0-0, here comes the Whitecaps. Bodwall, chance, Alumi, shot through, and it's wide. Just barely wide. And there's a corner for the Whitecaps. Bodwall down injured. The Whitecaps are already eliminated from this tournament. The question is can they end up... It's anyone's qualification now since he lost in Columbus. Well, they drew on a shootout. Columbus won the shootout. Columbus has 8 points. They're top of the table. Cincinnati are in trouble with actually losing the game. And if Charlotte lose their game to Pachuca, that's going to be even worse. Charlotte will be in the same position as Cincinnati on the bubble. Good advantage play by the ref. See what Pachuca does. If they win the shootout, Charlotte would probably have qualified for the knockout phase. Whatever happens in the Minnesota game doesn't matter to Minnesota whether they win the shootout or not. Any MLS coaches on the hot seat after bad Leagues Cup results? The teams that I'd be worried about are actually doing pretty good in this tournament. So, Enrique gets a yellow card. Joaquim. Honestly, no. And I mean, Philadelphia, they knew. They already had fired their manager. They're not going to have a second. They're not going to have a second interim. Portland Timbers, Marty Fuentes is going to get time. And that first win under Puebla by Jack Cassidy was awesome. Now, I think what I got to say for the MLS coaches, I got to say the biggest move in stock is Jack Cassidy. Like, I think Jack Cassidy is going to be a big property on the coaching carousel in the offseason. Ball crossed in. He's going to be a big property on the coaching carousel in the offseason. Especially now that he's just in Timbers 2. Like, he's gone back to Timbers 2 to be Timbers 2 coach. He's going to go somewhere in the offseason. Unless he thinks that move isn't the best idea and Marty Cifuentes says, hey, you want to be on my coaching staff? I guess Billy could go get Conte's coach unless he's taken. I don't think he's taken, no. He didn't go to Italy either, so. I mean, Mikey Varas might be on the hot seat, but that might just be the whole season. Why would Conte go to MLS? Big up Xavier Gozo going to Palace. Yes. Does Mikey Varas deserve the hot seat? Yes. Yes, he does. Well, they still have a chance to qualify if things break their way and they win on the final day. Because they'd still... Point is, they need a lot of teams to choke in front of them. But they can still qualify. They got America. That's what happened. I thought they played pretty well. They dominated Puebla. I think they're good on paper. The only game that Jack Cassidy lost, no penalty. The only game Jack Cassidy lost was against America. And he was an interim manager. On paper, Portland's a good team. They were red hot. They just played a team that their fans overtook the stadium. And it's Club America under Guillermo Almada. Almada's a very good manager. I don't think... If they lost both matches, that's a fair question. They lost the match that everybody thought, you know what, they're probably going to lose anyway. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. They lost the match that everybody thought they were going to lose. What's the problem with that? And there's so many teams with 6 points, they got to hope for a lot of choke jobs, and they got to beat. And Minnesota has a lead, 2-1 over Atlante, but that does not matter. Atlante has a 2-1 lead. That does not affect Portland. Charlotte Pachuca, let's see what happens there. And 2-0 for Saprissa within 11 minutes against Mixco. Jesus Christ. 1-0 for Real Esteli over Alianza El Salvador. Okay, that's realistic. Either way, damn. Mixco's getting blown out. 5-2 Plaza Amador over Xelajú in the Central American Cup. No Caribbean Cup this week. That's next week. 0-0. Very rough and tumble game. Tigres need a win to advance. and help. 5, 6, 7 points. Tigres would have 7 points with a win in this match. 6 with a penalty shootout win. With an outright win, they'd have 7 points. Against a team who's already eliminated, so they better win this game. They would be top of the table after night 1. Atlante losing 2-1. Pachuca losing 0-0 with 1 point. And best they could do was either 3 or 2 or 1. Toluca will have 6 points if they win there. Juarez is losing 1-0. So they'll be stuck at 6 points. Good for Toluca. Leon, we'll see what happens there. Cruz Azul, we'll see what happens there. America, well, they'll probably get 9 points. Who are we kidding? Either way, 7 minutes in. Nil, 0-0. Canadian Championship finals, semifinal set. CPL team will be in the final. Yep, Forge or Supra will be in the final. Header! Why are you playing forward? Cleared away. 8 minutes in. In my opinion, well, look what's happening this year with San Diego. The fans are legitimately pissed off at the front office, at Varas and Heaps, for getting rid of Chucky Lozano. The fans sided with Chucky Lozano in the beginning when they froze him out. And then the team started playing like shit. The team's not good this year. It's not good. So in the end, they're in trouble. They shit-canned a player that the fans wanted. And there you go. Portland player was super upset that Club America support overtook their stadium. Blue Jays won. Says somebody on Rumble. Here we are. There we go. In a situation with Chucky, whoever's right or wrong, he got backed up by the club to separate Chucky and isn't getting results. Exactly. I mean, he's going to suck. Let's be real. He's going to suck. He's 37 years old. And he's playing for Montreal. Yeah, he'll get a couple of cool assists with Prince Owuzu. Wow. Other than that, Mikey Varas should do more with San Diego. His team fell away since the away match at Toluca is struggling to get consistency, and San Diego's the top team on paper in the Western Conference. Can't be mad over Club America fans getting to see their team. The League's Cup is for Liga MX's teams too, not just MLS. I agree. They ain't getting results, though. That's on the manager. And whether right or wrong, the fans wanted Lozano, and they're not getting results. He kind of did it to himself. He gave himself a poison chalice. What do you want? He gave himself a poison chalice. Do with that what you will. The Blue Jays and the Orioles are both 3 back. Well, that means they just won. Orioles beat the Twins. So the Jays should be 3 back. Jesse Marsh was coaching the U20 team, yes. Yes, he was in that tournament. 0-0. At least he got into a World Cup. Let's see where the Jays land when that game comes through. Lozano was the city and the man in the team outside of Anders Dreyer. Exactly. And, well, Anders Dreyer don't represent San Diego like Lozano does. Like, Anders is a good player. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But Lozano had all the Mexican fans and the Latino fans on side. When a coach Gets it backed up with decisions with players. He's getting the keys to the kingdom. Basically, isn't doing anything with a club on paper that should not be 13th in the Western Conference. Exactly. That's a hot seat to me. I don't care how good he did with the U23 team. Exactly. When you get rid of the player the fans love the most and you're performing at a level that you should be performing better than on paper, even without that player, you're going to get shit on. I don't think the San Diego fans give a rat's ass about what Varas did with the U20 or the youth teams. I don't think they give a shit. And why should they? That's not about what San Diego is. And I guess Lozano shouldn't be in that much of a cancer because guess who he's playing for the Galaxy. He's going 30 miles away, if that. He's going up a little bit to LA. So, don't finish 13th when getting rid of the best player the fans all want. And I guess he can't be that much of a cancer. The Galaxy took him on. How we doing, Risklander? So, what do you mean? So, who's right here? If the Galaxy finally took him, 2 hours north. It's 2 hours from San Diego to LA? You got to be kidding me. I wouldn't think it's that long. 2 hours? That might just be the whole 405 though. Who are we kidding? That might just be the traffic on the frickin' roads. Nil-nil, settle a settle. If this game stays boring, this might not have a review. We'll see. We'll be live for the Super Cup tomorrow, the Miami León game, and Toluca Dallas tomorrow. And we'll review the Super Cup in Toluca Dallas. 2 hours, that's a good time. 4 hours on a bad day. SoCal traffic, you have to get through Orange County first, then Oceanside, and you hit San Diego. Well, there you go then, I guess. 14th minute. Well, there you go then, I guess. There's a lot more than I thought then. Playing forward. Vancouver Whitecaps in through. That is cleared. Fourteenth minute. Boring game so far, I'll tell you that much. Foul, maybe. Just depends on who. European Super Cup, yes. I'll be live for PSG versus Villa. I normally do the European Super Cup. Bro, I live in Orange County. If I want to go to LA, it's got to be like a whole day trip. I'm going to have a terrible time no matter what because I'm going to be in traffic all day. Well, I knew the traffic was bad. I just didn't think... I guess the traffic's the bulk of the time getting from San Diego to LA. But... either way. I mean, that makes sense, but either way. Villa are really well-coached team. Capped out with Tunisia. Alumi's capped out with Tunisia. Would you take Mikey Varas as a TFC coach? No. I mean, he's not as bad as Phil Neville. I would take Mikey Varas over Phil Neville. He's not exactly what I want, though. San Diego's spent on his team. MLSE, if they do spend, it's going to be somebody who doesn't deserve. I mean, yeah, he's better than Fraser. I mean, you're right. I mean, Mikey Varas is better than Fraser. Mikey Varas is better than Fraser. He's better than Phil Neville. I don't think he's better than Bobby Smearney Otis. Would you rock a half and half scarf? Hell no. Hell no. I wouldn't even put it on my wall. A jersey collection is different. I'm not wearing this during a Toronto-Vancouver game. It's during a game where Toronto has nothing to do with it. So, I don't hate Vancouver like that. I guarantee you some of those 20 teams won't be CONCACAF teams. I guarantee you there'll be like 6 CONCACAF teams and there'll be like 4 invitees. I guarantee you that's what's going to be. It's not going to be 10 CONCACAF and 10 CONMEBOL. No, it's not. There's no way that's going to happen. And besides, they have to qualify anyway. They're not... No. Like, let's see. Canada, USA, Mexico, Panama. Let's just say those are 4 of the teams. Curaçao's got a way better chance. Jamaica's got a better chance. I'd still say Jamaica's got a better chance. Costa Rica. Exactly. I agree with that. I mean, call the pirate. That's what I want the most. But there are people I'll endorse more than Mikey Varas. Bobby Smirniotis, Tommy Wilden Jr., Maurizio Sarri. I'd still endorse Maurizio Sarri over a lot of people. Vanni Sartini, hell no. No. We saw what he did with the Whitecaps. He did well, but not good enough. That's why Jesper Sorensen's there. And Jesper Sorensen made them a steamroller. Vanni Sartini's a good coach, but no. Look at Jesper Sorensen taking him to an MLS Cup and a CONCACAF final. Yes, they would have been MLS Cup champions if they played NYCFC in the final over Miami. Yeah. They were that good. I still think Blue Jays are 3 back of the wild card. Half game back from the Orioles, half game back from the Guardians, full game back from the Twins, 2 games back of the Tigers. And Tigres score! Buffalo Aguirre slots it home. It's 1-0. 1-0 Tigres. That was bound to happen. 19th minute, Rodrigo Buffalo Aguirre with a goal. 1-0, 1-0. And Ralph Prizo out of Kube can expect some minutes in the next Canada friendly. I agree. So, Buffalo Aguirre with a goal. Gets through, slots it home past Bemer, and it's 1-0 to Tigres. I can't say I'm surprised. Buffalo Aguirre. No, I won't. That's 1-0, 1-0. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be probably 6 CONCACAF like last time, 4 invitees. And of course, Saudi Arabia is one of them. If you're going to do that, I want Japan. I know we can't get Italy because the Euros are the same summer. Give me Japan. And actually, while you're at it, wait, there's an AFCON in 2028, isn't there? They're going to go every 4 years. They're going to do one next spring, and then do one in... That's saved by Bemer. I think they're doing one 27 and 28. AKA. I think. Yeah, give me Morocco. Give me Japan, Saudi, Morocco, and Egypt. Or New Zealand. Either way. I mean, if you're going to do 2 and 2, yeah, Saudi and Japan, Morocco, Senegal or Egypt. if there is an AFCON. AFCON 2027. So there's an AFCON in the summer of 2027. There's an AFCON in the summer of 2028. Well, it depends. If it's in the winter of 28, we could have the teams at Copa as well. TBD. Okay, the dates are TBD, so we don't know if it's January or the summer. But there will be a 2028 AFCON, and the 2027 one's in the summer, so I'm going to guess AFCON 28 is going to be in the summer unless they can't help it. So we will not have African teams in the Copa unless there is a summer AFCON and then a winter AFCON to get it on the 4-year cycle. Then I guess we could, but I think it'll be at the end of the year. I don't think it's in the summer. Oh, so you're saying it's going to be 28 to 29 is what you're saying. It's going to be 28 into 29 is what you're saying. So we could still have African teams at the Copa just because AFCON's after instead of before. Okay. Yeah, I wish Marcelo Flores was healthy. I think the World Cup would have been a bit different. If Vancouver could keep it respectable, it's okay. Losing to Juarez at home was not. I agree with that. I can understand losing to Atlante. They've been playing pretty well. Juarez is different, though. That was bad. For a team as good as Vancouver, losing to Juarez was bad. It's like they don't care about this tournament. Losing to Atlante's had a really good start to life back in Liga MX. I can kind of understand it. And it's a Miguel Herrera team. They're going to shithouse their way through, which is kind of exactly what happened. And they're an unknown quantity. We know Juarez is shit. And losing in Mexico isn't that bad, and you're already eliminated. So either way, wouldn't mind the Aussies either. Well, 10, 6, 3, 3. I mean, that's a good idea, but I think they're just going to go 20. Australia were supposed to be at Copa America 21. They were Argentina's group, but later both of them and Qatar decided not to travel because of COVID at the time. Well, guess what was also in 2021 and what Qatar also played? It wasn't because of COVID Qatar didn't travel. They already had a deal to play the Copa America with CONCACAF. So they went to the Gold Cup. Let's not forget that happened. It wasn't about travel with Qatar. They already had a deal with CONCACAF to do the Copa. They were going to do the Copa America in 20 and then do the Gold Cup in 21. And they chose to do the tournament they were already scheduled for in 2021 instead of the Move tournament, which I guess they would have. I don't understand why. I mean, they did make a Gold Cup semifinal. Honestly, if I were them, I think they made the wrong decision, but I guess CONCACAF weren't mad about it. They got paid a whole hell of a lot of money to use them or play them, so I guess they aren't mad about it. Either way, 25th minute. Could be worse. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense, actually. Either way, we'll get the second half soon. 1-0. Honestly, if this game's a blowout or a 1-0, probably no review. And there's a water break, 1-0. I mean, I don't cover the EFL Championship, but I watch it. Or I keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. One 0 in the water break. I have a Whitecaps jersey in my collection. They're not Montreal. I don't feel like there's a rivalry there. I mean, I'll never wear a Whitecaps jersey when they play Toronto. But I don't... The Whitecaps, to me, are the redheaded stepchild of Canadian soccer. I have no problem with them comparatively to Montreal. I mean, do I want them to win the Champions Cup? No, but this isn't the Champions Cup. Do I want them to beat Toronto? No, but this ain't a Toronto game, so... And they're already eliminated. Let them at least keep some belief or whatever the word is. I don't see a problem with it. I have a jersey collection. The only jersey I'll never wear is a Montreal jersey. I'm trying to build a CONCACAF jersey collection. I will never have a Montreal kit. If somebody ever sends me one, I'm going to microwave the thing and put it on YouTube as an extra episode of Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This? I'll ask to use the rights to the name and shit. Don't worry. They ain't using it. Either way. Any other jersey is fair game for me. Even America. And I hate them, in my opinion. But it's not like Montreal, Toronto. The only sin is wearing a Montreal jersey to me. Or having one in my closet. Now, if I get sent one, I'm going to microwave the fucker and I'm going to put it on YouTube. But, that'll be even if it kills the microwave, it's going to be a good idea to microwave. Either way, to me, I don't see a problem with it. It's actually a great idea for a video. Don't mind that. I'll do it. No, not really. That's like Columbus. That's like saying Toronto and Columbus are rivals. That's picking stones. The only people who see Toronto as a rival is Vancouver. Because they got a freaking inferiority complex. Because they think Toronto is the center of the universe, which it is. Toronto is the center of the universe, but I don't think we care like that, to be honest. Or the bulk of us don't care like that. We just see them as redheaded stepchildren. It's like Southern Miss and Mississippi State. Yeah, you root against Southern when they play State. You'll root for them when they play Ole Miss. But y'all root for Vancouver when they play Montreal. You'll root for Southern when they play anybody else. Or you'll hope they win for Mississippi supremacy. But when State plays Southern, yeah, I guess the rivalry is like a one-day thing. And then when it's over, it's over. That's the way I see it. Like, State, Ole Miss, and Southern are very similar to Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. Vancouver is Southern, even though they're good right now, but you get my point. Toronto's State, Montreal is Ole Miss. Toronto and Montreal hate each other. That's real hate. That's a rivalry. I'd say the Vancouver rivalry is about as real as the Columbus rivalry. It's bullshit. Like, it's only a rivalry the day of the game. And it's honestly a bigger rivalry to Vancouverites than Toronto people. Torontonians. Because, the center of the universe thing. Yeah, I want Toronto to beat Vancouver when we play them. I wouldn't even call it a rivalry. I'm like, yeah, I want Toronto to beat everybody when we play them. But I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm going to defend them from anybody else. Save the Caps. Look at that, right? They're the redheaded stepchild of Canadian soccer, but I want them to stay in Vancouver. Anybody want to shit on Vancouver, I'll defend them. If they're not a Canadian. We can only pick on them. Which is hard to do right now because they're good. But point is, it's like Ole Miss, State, and Canadians got to stick together. As a Chicago and Fire fan, F all the other Midwest teams. Ooh, St. Louis is my second favorite team. So, I don't have hate for Chicago. I'm sorry. Honestly, in my book, the Fire, I don't really hate the Fire. When you compare it to Montreal, I really don't hate anybody except Club America, but, whatever. And Atlas. But I don't really hate the Chicago Fire. But, honestly, I don't see a rivalry between the Cardinals and Cubs. I don't. I like both. I've always liked both. I mean, the Cardinals are probably a little bit higher on my favorite teams list than the Cubs, but I've always liked the Cubs and the Cardinals. I've always liked both. And the Braves. I've always liked them all. I mean, the Jays are my favorite team completely, but, you know, I see no rivalry between the Cardinals and Cubs. I don't. I think it's bullshit. I like both. I like both. That 2015 series win went hard. I mean, you're not wrong. That 2015 series win went hard. I guess talking about the NLDS 2015. I was happy either way. And besides, I wanted the Jays to make the World Series. That's what I cared about the most. Like, I really wanted Jays Cubs. I really wanted that. I won either way. I really wanted Jays Cubs in 2016 too. Because let's not forget, they both were in the championship series that year. The Cubs, of course, made the World Series, but, you know, the Jays were in the ALCS in 2016 as well. We both lost the championship series in 2015, but the Cubs went to the World Series, and I was happy to root for the Cubs there. Gladly did. Gladly did. So. "33rd minute. Point is, for me, I mean, I grew up in the time where WGN Superstation was still a thing. I grew up in the time where TBS, the Braves were still on TBS. For like the last 7 years of that. I grew up in a time where FSN Midwest was a big thing. So, I mean, I grew up, as a redneck, of course, you love the Braves. But, you know, I grew up in a time where I could watch all three easily. The Firehouse Lewandowski, you should like them more than SKC and St. Louis. I'm not from Chicago, though. I've only been to Chicago once in my life. I'm not in that part of Illinois. Shot. Again. Either way. I've only been to Chicago once. I don't know if I'd go back. Well, maybe. Either way. 1-0. Jays. If the Jays and Cubs is the World Series, I will find a damn way. If a team has a star want to do good, it's good for the league. I can agree with that. Yo, but that White Sox 2005 World Series win hit harder. Oh, you're a White Sox fan, aren't you? You know, I don't mind the White Sox either. Like, I want to see the White Sox do good. You know, I've also never had a problem with the White Sox either. I mean, I've always if the White Sox are doing good, I'm glad they're doing good. Like, I enjoyed watching the 2005. Also, because the Cardinals lost to the Astros, by the way. And I was at the time where I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I hated the Astros for it was cool. But those White Sox, Paul Konerko, Bobby Jenks, Tadahito Iguchi, Mark Burley. I always love Mark Burley. I always have been a fan of Mark Burley. Always have been. That was a good team. That was a good team. Scott Podsednik. That was a good team. AJ Pierzynski. That was a good team. Ozzie Guillen is the manager. Neil Kotz. One of the Fernandez brothers, I think one of them were there. Was it Orlando or Levon? Either way. 1-0 for Tigres. Yeah, this game looks like it won't be reviewed either. Exactly, so you get it. Hey, if the Jays get eliminated, I would not mind. I would rather the Chicago White Sox win the American League. Tie game, it's offside. Hey, if the Jays don't make the playoffs, I might bandwagon the White Sox on the American League side. Because fuck the Astros, fuck the Rays, fuck the Yankees. I'm okay with the Red Sox winning, I'm not going to lie. And the Tigers, you know what? If they make it even after getting rid of Scooball, I'm going to be pissed. So if the Jays don't make the playoffs on the American League side, I hope the Chicago White Sox make the World Series. I hope they do. I hope they do on the American League side. Because fuck the Rays and fuck the Yankees. I don't have a problem with the Red Sox, but I'd really like seeing the White Sox do it over the Red Sox. But I wouldn't be as mad about the Red Sox. I hate the Red Sox the least out of the Jays division. The Red Sox are kind of cool to me. I'm cool with the Red Sox. Fuck the Devil Magic Rays. Fuck the Yankees. Fuck the Orioles. Red Sox, you're cool. Let's go Blue Jays. But I'd rather the White Sox over the Red Sox. You've had enough. You've had enough. The White Sox kind of remind me of last year's Blue Jays, and it hurts. And it hurts. It hurts. It does kind of hurt. Either way, enjoy it is what I'm going to say, because you don't know if it's going to be the same the next year. Also, lockout. Enjoy it. But if the Blue Jays make the playoffs, if we face you, yeah, no. It's going to be a fun time, isn't it? For Marcel and Migatez versus me, if it's Blue Jays, White Sox, oh, it's going to be the Jays are getting hot right now. We might make the playoffs. If it's going to be Jays, White Sox, so that's going to be a fun time. Somebody's going to get trolled. Oh, that's going to be a lot of shit talking. Because we'll be live for it. Don't worry. Don't worry. But if the Jays don't make the playoffs, I hope. Oh, and yeah, fuck the Astros. Because I think the Astros are going to win that shit West, aren't they? Cincinnati and Charlotte blew it. Oh, damn. Charlotte lost to Pachuca? Good for Portland. Good for Portland. Another good one for Portland. Charlotte. Lose. So another good result for Portland. Salt Lake second with 7 points. If Chicago loses and Austin loses and Dallas loses, it's basically LAFC. Actually, if Chicago loses to Cruz Azul, Austin loses, Salt Lake is beating Juarez. With the draw with the Columbus Crew and the fact that Salt Lake has 7 points. If Dallas loses to Toluca, very likely so. Austin loses, Chicago loses. That's 2 open spots. LA can win and Portland wins. They're going to be in the top 4. MLS table qualifications for anyone. But you know what? If the Blue Jays play the White Sox, I can't wait to see who comes through in the playoffs. Which actually, wait. Ooh, it might be a wild card series. Oh! It might be a wild card series, and we're probably most likely the third wild card. It might have to be the wild card series at U.S. Cellular Field. Oh! Ooh! Ooh. Or is the West that bad that it might be the Astros? I don't know. Let's see the standings. Hold on. Wild card as it stands with about a month and a half to play. Hold on. The White Sox are second, tied with the Astros on 61 wins. So it's West or East, or West or the Central. The East is going to finish first. Astros and White Sox, and the White Sox are actually over their last 10 worse than the Astros. 3 versus 6 is a wild card matchup, and if the Jays make the wild card, very likely the 6th wild card. Very possible that the White Sox and Jays play in a wild card series. All 3 games at U.S. Cellular Field. Very likely. Very possible. Honestly, I'd rather play the Astros. Honestly, if it's 6 versus 3, I'd rather play the Astros, though. I think we did a pretty good job against them in Houston as well, especially when we just played them. So, yeah, I'd rather have Houston. I'd rather have Houston. But either way, I'd rather have Houston. I think we could beat Houston. If we get hot, we already did well against them, and we kind of were starting to get hot after the trade deadline. If we play Houston again, yeah, I like our chances. I'm not going to lie. Give me Houston. Or if we finish 5th, we're going to have to go to New York or Boston. But then again, if we're that hot, I guess we'd win that too. Either way, over the top. What if the ALCS was Jays versus Yankees after all this? What if that happened? Oh, shit. We'd have to win 1 game in Tampa at least. Well, no. RSL 2-0. Wait, we were the first seed, and the 4-5 played us. So then we'd play Chicago, and then the winner of Rays-Yankees or Red Sox-Yankees. What if the ALCS was Yankees-Jays? Oh, man. Oh, I want that so bad. Oh, give me an ALCS between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Come on. A red-hot Blue Jays versus the Yankees. It sounds familiar, except the Yankees would have home field. But then again, we'll see what happens. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Because for some reason, either way, I guess because it's possibly... That doesn't make any sense. I guess technically, most likely, 1v either way. They don't reseed. Because wasn't Cleveland the... No, wait, they were the home. No, the Tigers were the 6th seed, yeah. The Tigers played the 2, and we played the 4-5 when we were the 1 seed, so either way. If Mississippi had an MLB team, would you still be a Blue Jays fan? One, that would probably never happen, but, yes. It's like St. Louis and MLS. St. Louis, 5 minutes of stoppage time. St. Louis is my second favorite team. I was a Toronto fan way longer. So I'd still be a Blue Jays fan first. Now, would I have to cut the Braves out? Maybe. I think most people... I don't think that would happen because I don't think they put an MLB team in Jackson. I think they had to put it... If they were going to get it, it would have to be a legacy team. It would have to be a legacy team. That's not the case. Ball crossed in, caught. So... I think the Braves are the Braves. The Braves are Mississippi's team, and Alabama's team, and Louisiana's team, and Georgia's team, and Tennessee's team. until there's there might be a Nashville team. But either way, well, the Cardinals. But either way, I put money on Tigres. Sorry, but it had to be done. I mean, I knew Tigres were probably going to win. I just didn't want to wear a John Cena shirt. I mean, I could have wore the blue and yellow John Cena shirt. I didn't really want to. I wanted to wear a jersey. Just like I wore the Steelers jersey for the Columbus game. I wanted to wear a jersey and not a t-shirt. So do with that what you will. This game's boring, though. If this game continues the way it's going, no review. We're just going to move on to tomorrow. There's nothing for me to say. Always love Liga MX, and I'm a new follower of MLS. The Leagues Cup is lit. Hope it continues and figures some stuff out because the current format's a little funky. As I said, I would rather them use the pods where they make these groups out of and take 3 teams per league and still have the MLS teams play all the Liga MX teams in the league, and the opposite, the top team per league in each group of 6 of 18 versus, if you're going to have to keep the 18-team group thing, 3 teams per group, 6 groups of 18, top teams per group, or top teams per league. Top teams per league of each league advance to the knockout stage. Then I guess what you could do is group into a Western and Eastern portion and take the most Eastern teams. Or you could take like the Eastern pods, which are 3 of them, and take the Western pods, which are 3 of them, and then seed each team 1 to 6. It might take away some Liga MX MLS matches in the knockout stage, but either way, you rank each team by points in each pod. The 6 Eastern teams and the 6 Western teams. So you could still have possible interleague matches in the quarterfinals and the wild card. You take the first 2 seeds of each regional pod and you put them into the quarterfinals with a bye. It's the NFL, old NFL style, single elimination. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all playing in a wild card. 3v6, 4v5. The winner of 3v6, if the 3 wins, they play the 2. If the 6 wins, they play the 1. 4v5 then would play the 2. If it's 3, then 2v3, 4v5, 1 versus 4 or 5. West and East. The winner of each pod faces in the final, and the runner-up of each pod plays in the 3rd place game. You'd still have many interleague games, but it wouldn't be automatic interleague games until the quarters. But I think that's better than this. Top 6 teams in each Eastern and Western pod. Like 3 of the groups are Eastern, 3 of the groups are Western. Top MLS and Liga MX team in each group after playing the 3 games of the other league. The 3 teams in the other league advance to the knockouts. And then you have the Eastern and Western playoffs. And you have the MLS, the old NFL format. So, I think that's if you're going to keep 18 teams v 18 teams at the Leagues Cup, you'd still have the same format of the group stage. Every Liga MX team in 1 pod, and a 16 pod will play every MLS team. There's 3 Eastern pods, 3 Western pods. Top team in each league in each pod advances to the knockout stage. Then you rank them from 1 to 6. Top 2 in the pod go into the quarterfinals. Then you play a wild card, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3v6, 4v5, NFL style, single elimination. That's only 1 extra round. Halftime, it's 1-0 to Tigres. 1-0 mío tiempo. I think that makes more sense. I think that makes more sense to me. And that's a little bit fairer. Midweek. And those games are played in between league games. Yes, the knockout games are played in between league games in the midweek, except the final, which is on a Sunday, and the 3rd place, which is on a Sunday. But that's 1 extra midweek. That's 1 extra midweek, and you add 1 break in the middle. The quarterfinals don't start till the last week of August. There's a week in the middle, so you can throw the wild card right in there into that midweek. Then you have the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, then the final on that Sunday, the last. So point is, you can still have 18 and 18 teams each, and still make it make more sense than top 4 per league. You can make it make more sense and still have the 3 games against each league and have it make more sense. And still have your knockouts in the same sort of schedule, but have it make more sense and be more fairer, in my opinion. Well, Diego Luna ball out versus Juarez. Juarez, Morgan, and Sergey Solans for RSL. I mean, the game started. It's been playing. Let's see. What is his ranking before we take a break? Let's see what his rank is. Diego Luna is at a 6.8 on SofaScore. I mean, that doesn't sound... He's about mid. He sounds mid. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half. Talk about the stats. Get this one going. 1-0 for Tigres. 1-0. 45 more minutes to go, and maybe not even a review the way this is going. Which I guess that doesn't matter. Either way, 0-0, 0-0. We're back for the stats at the half. I mean, I don't think it's going to suck. It could, but I mean, I guess it's a preseason game, a later preseason game. Why would there be low effort? At this point, you should be putting heavy effort in, and it's for a trophy. So, either way, stats the half: 40% possession to 60% possession, 6 shots to 7, 3 shots on goal to 1, 14 touches in the opposition box to 17, 1 big chance to 1. Vancouver actually ain't done so bad. 147 accurate passes. They've been given a lot of possession because Tigres has the lead. 78% possession is 91% possession. 2 yellow cards to 1, 1 corner to 3, 6 shots to 7, 3 shots on goal to 1. 188 pass to 285, 78% pass accuracy to 91, 12 throws to 6, 1 offside to 1, 2 yellows to 1, 0 reds to 0, 7 fouls to 5. 3-0 to Juarez. Minnesota 1-3-1. Pachuca beats Charlotte. Atlas beats Cincinnati. Portland's got a road to making the knockout stage. They got to hope other things go their way, but they got a road to making it. With that being said, Tigres leads 1-0, and Tigres, to me, they look solid. They look like the better team. I mean, they've given possession to Vancouver since the goal against, or the goal for, I should say. But Tigres look at home, because they are at home. Vancouver's trying to fight for their honor. And overall, 3-0 RSL. Yep, I just saw that. And that game will end in 20 minutes. Tigres Vancouver will be the last game to end on the day. Well, I think we'll stay till the CONCACAF games are over just to get all those put away. But this game doesn't look like it'll get reviewed because I think Vancouver has been solid defensively for the most part. The Buffalo Aguirre goal was definitely a heads-up play. Tigres look solid. They look like more at home than Vancouver, but Vancouver's putting up a good fight. And Nahuel's making some saves, but overall, a pretty quiet game, all things considered. We'll see how the second half goes, and if there is going to be a review for this match. I say probably not. Sergei Salons and Gozo, the ones that ball for Salt Lake. Either way, we'll take it. We'll be back. So, with that being said, solid game so far. We'll see how the second half goes, and we'll see if there's a review. But this game looking like it might not be one of those that get reviewed. We might just move on for tomorrow. We got the Super Cup tomorrow. We got Miami Leon. And we got Toluca Dallas. Allianz FC Messit and Portland Tijuana on Thursday. Friday off, TFC Saturday, and Liga MX's match on Sunday. So, there we go. We'll see where this goes. $45 more minutes left in this game. You got PSG or Villa. I want Villa to win. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say Villa. I'm going to say Unai Emery finds a way. He's got more of his best players to play for longer than PSG does. I'm going to say Villa pulls it off and they don't bottle it like Tottenham did. I mean, if you remember last year's Super Cup, Tottenham almost won. They were this close to winning, and they still went to a shootout, but they bottled it late. I don't think Villa does that. Sadly enough, I think Bezo is starting. I mean, he's probably going to get a medal, Debu, but I think Bezo is starting because, of course, Debu went to the World Cup final. Probably just got back into training, but I don't think he's going to play. Probably going to be Marco Bezo. Probably. I assume. I would assume. But again, that's the only big World Cup deep run player they still have is Debu. They sold Morgan Rogers. So, the bulk of their players, their best players, are playing. Villa. PSG, on the other hand, Barcola's training, doesn't know how long he's going to play. Same with Desiree Doué. Same with Luca Digne, by the way. They also sold Luca Digne. Second half, here we go. So basically, Villa's got a good shot because it was a World Cup year. I agree, PSG might not win three-peat again. Well, I'm talking about the Super Cup. They'll probably, UCL, I mean, I could see them winning in the UCL again, for sure. But second half, here we go. Here we go. Second half, here we go. Second half, here we go. The second half of the Saprissa game has begun. Still 3-0. Real Esteli 2-0. Who scored for Tigres? Buffalo, Rodrigo Aguirre. Rodrigo Buffalo Aguirre. 3-0 for Salt Lake Juarez. Of course, a Columbus Pumas 1-1 draw. 3-2 on penalties to Columbus. Atlas win 2-1 over Cincinnati. Minnesota 3-1 over Atlante. 1-0 Pachuca. 3-0 Salt Lake. That game's over. Tigres Vancouver. Let's see if Tigres can get the win. A 5-2 win for Plaza Amador over Shelahu today. Garos Smenikov for Vancouver coming on in the second half. RSL likely going through, not surprised. But hey, at least Portland has a road to advancing if they win. A lot of the games should go your way now. And because Charlotte and Cincinnati bottled it, even if LAFC won, you'd still have an opening. As long as you win by enough. And the good news for y'all is your game's last. You'll know what you got to do. Even if Miami wins their game and jumps you for the interim, or you'll know what you have to do. Your game is last. This was a good day for y'all. I mean, y'all have the best goals scored of anybody behind you or ahead of you. So as long as you win 1 or 2-0, second half has started. And the teams who are playing better teams drop their games, and you still have an open 2 slots, you're going to be fine. Like, the worst case scenario, like right now, I see an angle for Portland to get in. I see an angle for Portland to get into the Final Four. And I mean, I had them going, but Cruz Azul versus Chicago, I think Cruz Azul wins that. Cruz Azul should win that game. Austin should be beaten by America. America should win that match. Toluca should beat Dallas. Of course, Salt Lake is second. Cincinnati loses. Charlotte loses. LAFC playing Querétaro. They'll probably win that, but you still have 2 open spots to be in the top 4. And then, of course, Miami's behind y'all, playing Leon. Minnesota's ahead of y'all because they've played and you haven't, and they have 4 points. Basically, Atakubi is off for Vancouver. Nashville behind y'all, New York behind y'all, Orlando behind y'all, Philly behind y'all, Seattle behind y'all, San Diego behind y'all. 3 points. Minnesota are eliminated anyway. 3 points, 3 points. Basically, San Diego might beat Puebla, but they need a lot of goals to overturn that. Seattle, I don't think they're beating Chivas. Philly versus Santos, probably a shootout, but that's 5 points. Orlando versus San Luis, that might be a win. That might be something you have to pay attention to. NYCFC versus Necaxa, you might have to pay attention to that one. Nashville, Monterrey, I still think Monterrey wins that one. Miami versus Leon, you're going to have to pay attention to that one. But the good news is for Portland, with the fact that 2 of the teams who are on 6 points lost, and you have the same amount, or you're 1 goal scored behind Cincinnati, and you're the same amount of goals scored as Charlotte, y'all should still finish top 4. With the teams ahead of y'all having more goals scored or having less goals scored, if you win by a couple, now y'all definitely need at least a 2-0 win for the goal differential. But once you do that, I can't lie. If Miami wins the East again, I'm not sure I could pick them to win the MLS Cup the way I did this last year. Fair enough. But either way, second half, 48th minute, 1-0, 1-0. I think Portland beats Tijuana. Tijuana's on 0 points. I think they could care less. They cannot advance. Tijuana cannot advance. They're on 0 points, and they've honestly looked kind of questionable in both their matches against teams that I would say are worse than Portland. I think Portland wins a multi-goal game against Tijuana, 3-4-0 win. I really believe that. So as long as you do that, things are going y'all's way. You just got to hope that Cruz Azul, America, and Toluca win, which I think that's probably going to happen in the matches they have. I'd say Cruz Azul's better than Chicago. I'd say America's better than Austin, and Austin's going to Azteca. So that's even harder. If they beat Portland, America should beat Austin. Toluca versus Dallas, that's at Nemesio Diaz, yeah? That's at Nemesio Diaz. That's going to be tough for Dallas. We're going to cover that game as well tomorrow. So, I mean, if I'm a Portland fan, I feel good about the chances of advancing. I really would. I'd feel good. Miami's defense last year at least kicked in during the final 3 games of the season. This year, not so much. Hope Caicedo could be reliable for us at center back. Also, McHale scares me. He could be good, but he could be a bonehead too. Or Messi could just carry all ass like he did Argentina. So, either way, something to look at. It is the 82nd minute of the Salt Lake game. 3-0. Either way. Overall, '50th minute. Saved. Aston Villa versus PSG will be predictable, I assume. We don't want a messy carry job. It's bad for business. But is it though? If you win the cup off a messy carry job, MLS gets their Messi highlights. the world gets to say Messi did it, and y'all win another cup. I don't see how that's bad for business. I don't see how that's bad for business, but you do you, I guess. Argentina in the finals, enough evidence it's bad for business. Yeah, but I don't think Miami offensively is going to park the bus like that. That was a Spain team who there's no MLS. Well, no, that wouldn't be in the final though because it's both Eastern Conference clubs. But right now, in the reality we live in now, what team in MLS is going to press Miami to hell and back like Spain did? Nobody can do that. In the reality we live in now, nobody can do that but Spain. And that's partially why that game got so dirty. They had no chance in hell. Here's a chance for Tigres, saved by Bemer. They had no chance in hell. France couldn't even beat Spain. What'd you think Argentina was going to do? Look fraudulent all tournament. So, I think the difference is the way Spain played led to the game being as dirty and as unoffensive as it was for Argentina. I don't think Miami's going to be in the same position, even with like LAFC, to be honest. And that's nothing to say against LAFC. LAFC plays well on the press. They're good at taking the ball, but they're not. For some reason, Spain is the best team in the world at taking the ball off teams, holding the ball during getting pressed, and taking the ball off teams off the press. They're either on it like Watt on Rice, or they defend it like Fort Knox. It's either or, to be honest. Miami are out of Leagues Cup. I doubt they beat Cruz Azul in Campeones Cup. Miami, Messi is carrying Dragon Miami. It means Rodrigo de Paul, Silvetti, and Segovia aren't doing their job. I don't know how Casemiro will do in the MLS playoffs. Okay, fair enough. I can understand that. Even before that. I agree. Shot, saved, punched away by Bemer. I agree. It was the whole game. Argentina was atrocious in the final. I think Miami beats Leon. I think Messi's back in Miami. If Messi's not playing, no, they won't. Maybe on penalties. But if Messi's back, I think they do. I don't think Leon are that good. Not anymore, at least. But I still think they don't beat Leon to a level that if Portland win, or Portland winning won't matter. Let's put it like that. Miami are out of Leagues Cup. I mean, they're not out yet. They could still advance. If Portland screws up, I mean, LAFC is probably going to get third with who they're playing, but everybody else who's got 6 points have losable games now. I think Portland's the favorite to advance, but Portland could screw up and Miami advances, especially if Messi's playing Leon. And if Messi's playing, Portland probably got to win by more. But they'll know that going into their game because they play the last game. And tomorrow, with that Miami game, they're going to know how much, if Toluca's helped them, and if LAFC screwed it up completely. So they're going to know how much they have to do in their game. Did Toluca help them? And is there only one spot for them? Do they have to win? Well, no, they would have to win anyway. But is it all or nothing? Or do you have some wiggle room when it comes to goals? Because if LAFC blew it against Querétaro, which I don't think will happen. I think it's going to be LAFC's going to make it because they have 5 points with a penalty win and an outright win because they beat Toluca. Can LAFC... Toluca's playing at Nemesio Diaz, so they're going to beat Dallas. And LAFC is better than Dallas anyway, but either way. Querétaro probably is losing to LAFC, which means they'll have 8 points, which they'll be with Columbus then. So then, 3rd place would be RSL. 4th place is open. Then on Thursday, Seattle's going to probably lose to Chivas, but that doesn't matter. Then you look at the America versus Austin game. Cruz Azul, Chicago. Cruz Azul, Chicago is being played at the exact same time. Portland's got to deal with their job. But they got to know. They'll know before they play. They got to be like, they'll know, okay, how much do we need Cruz Azul to do? Did America do the job? How much do we need Cruz Azul to do? And how much do we need to win by? And they'll know at the half. Actually, wait, that's 8 o'clock? So they'll already be at halftime. Actually, Cruz Azul will already be at halftime. America is going to be over by the time Portland plays. Cruz Azul is going to be at halftime. They just got to be like, so what do they got to do over the last 45 and how much do we need to score? So basically, Portland's in the catbird seat at this point. Messi was not training the last couple of days. He won't play versus Leon. Okay, they're going to lose that game then. Or win on penalties. So Portland's in a good place. Cruz Azul versus Chicago got me shook. You're going to lose that. I'm sorry. Cruz Azul's winning that game. Cruz Azul's a better team, and Joel Weeke has got Cruz Azul playing amazingly. I mean, I know y'all have Robert Lewandowski, but Cruz Azul's a different beast. And they've won both their games in this tournament. And you got to basically win all three. And Joel Weeke's got Cruz Azul playing well. I think you're losing that game. No disrespect. No disrespect, but let Messi sit out. We'll get other trophies. Yeah, back to the Super Cup. All the people online are hyping it up. Nobody's going to care about the Super Cup. PSG's going to spank. Who are they playing? Chelsea. Aston Villa. Oh, no, Aston Villa. That's it. You do realize most of PSG's players played at the World Cup. They're barely going to be able to play, even if they're training, because they just got back to training. Most of Villa's players are going to be, most of Villa's best players are going to be able to play at the Super Cup. PSG's won't. I mean, I wouldn't take much from it, but if PSG were to lose, it'd be hilarious. And let's not forget last year, Tottenham should have beaten PSG, but they blew it in the last 10 minutes. I'm not going to bet on it, though. Because I ain't going to bet on it because I'm not betting right now because if Luis Enrique comes out with a starting 11 that has his best players in it, then I don't want that to be what I'm based off of. I don't think his best players are going to play, but I'm not going to sit here and bet on it because I'm sure either way. Either way, playing forward. '60th minute. Either way, Prizo coming on and Selemani coming on for Vancouver in the 60th minute. All right. Hakimi, Nunmensch. You mean Kvaratskhelia, Pacho, and Vitinha? Well, fair enough. That is more players than I thought, to be honest. Good point. But Dembele, not playing much. Doué, not playing much. Barcola, not playing much. Kvaratskhelia might be the best player there's still. I'm doing good, Angus. I'm doing good. So, I mean, I still think, I'm not betting on it, though. But that's more players than I thought. But again, quarterfinalists might still not show up that much. So Hakimi, I mean, my advice, make topical content, make regular content. Hopefully the algorithm benefits you, but that's something you can't control. But hopefully stream with relevant content, because streams gain more than videos, I would say. That's my experience. Once you get closer and closer to 8K over 365 days, I mean, once you get closer, the easier it gets. But I will say the watch hours is probably Safanov. Oh yeah, Safanov's Russian, but I thought you talked about Kvaratskhelia. Like, what does the goalie matter? Like, the goalie's a goalie. Like, that's not... And he's not even freaking Keylor Navas. Like, he's a good goalie. But I'm not going to sit here and say that's a face. Like, that's a really meaningful piece. Like, he does his job. I know Kvaratskhelia is Georgian, but I'm like, we're really talking about Safanov? That's not where my mind was going. I mean, I know he's Russian, but that's not where my mind was going. He's an okay, serviceable goalie. He's nothing special. Like, he's nothing special. He's not like Buffon, where he's the star of the team because he saves your ass. He's serviceable. You're acting like he's a star of the team. Kvaratskhelia, on the other hand, I mean, yeah, he's a star of the team. Or especially when the main guys aren't in. I wouldn't call Safanov a star. Underrated keeper, honestly. '64th minute. Okay, 64th minute. Tigres playing forward. Yeah, this second half's boring. Yeah, at this point, no review. Advantage played. I mean, at least Vancouver didn't get blown out. He's a good goalie. Maybe he named 5 keepers better than Safanov. Emi Martinez. Unai Simon. David Raya. Oh. Mike Magnan. Yassine Bono. Well, that's just World Cup keepers. Well, I mean, he was at the World Cup. Either way. I just did. I just did. Oh, Gregor Kobel. Oh. You know what? I'll put Gregor Kobel in there over David Raya, actually. You know what? Good point. Actually, you know what? That's a good point. I'll put, yeah, you know what? Yeah. We'll put David Raya 6 and throw Gregor Kobel on the top 5. How about that? Fair enough. Saved. Okay, you might be right about that. Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. If Russia wasn't banned, Safanov makes the quarterfinals in the round of 16 minimum. I'll give you that one. I give you that one. I mean, Russia definitely would have been a good squad, in my opinion, had they been able to play. But, 66-minute. Only certain countries committing war crimes get banned from international sport. Not all of them. If you're going to ban all the countries committing war crimes, the United States should not have been in the World Cup. And, well, I mean, Italy knocked them out anyway, but the fact they were able to qualify. My point is this. Russia shouldn't be banned for the mere fact that if you're going to ban a team for their country committing war crimes, you got to ban them all. You got to ban them all. Every puppet state that commits war crime and every state that... But, but certain states can get away with their war crimes, though, can they? Got it. I mean, if you're going to set the precedent, right? We ban all countries for committing war crimes and also corruption, there'd be no World Cup. I mean, you also have a point there. But then why... But then again, we've never seen it happen before. Because the only country that probably would have got banned for war crimes, no sport was played during that war. So there was no problem. So there was no banning of the country for war crimes. Countries, I should say, because there was no sport because of that war. So there was no precedent. And then you got another group of countries, like 2 years later, just starting their own shit. Not banned, but Russia's still banned. Got it. Cool. So what's the precedent now? Only if we hate you? Only if we hate you and you commit war crimes will you get banned from sport. Okay. I mean, either way. And then why is Ukraine allowed to play? Moment of silence for the earthquake in Colombia. RSL's through. I miss Russia and hockey. Well, it sounds like they're coming back to the World Cup of Hockey, so at least they'll be there. Sounds like. Picked it up. 69th minute. You also get banned from sports for hurting feelings. Wow. I mean, at this point, yeah, that kind of seems like it's part of it, eh? It's kind of part of it, especially with Russia. Russia hurt people's feelings long ago. But then again, yeah. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard nowadays. Putin at least stands for what he believes in. At least when Putin says something, he believes it. Donald Trump lied out of his ass. At least when Putin says something, he stands on that. At least Putin's, I don't know if I'd say morals, but at least when Putin says something, he means what he says. Donald Trump says we'll fix the cost of living. Bullshit. No foreign wars. Bullshit. Release the Epstein files. Bullshit. Lie, lie, lie. Lie. America first. Bullshit. Lie. Small government. Lie. You lied about everything. Everything. At least Putin don't lie. Not that... Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, not on me to say. But at least he ain't a liar. At least he ain't a liar. At least he ain't a liar. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Another lie. There you go. Another lie. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten gun control. I'm surprised with the way shit's going, gun control hadn't been passed. Okay, maybe there's one thing he hadn't lied about. The Second Amendment's still protected. Oh, wait, bump stocks. I forgot the first term. Bump stocks, right. Oh, yeah, bump stocks. Damn it. But at least he hadn't banned guns, right? Oh, yeah, oh, wait. Flock cameras. Oh, wait, yeah, flock cameras. How about those? Somebody... I didn't know that. Flock cameras. Thank you, Peter Thiel. Flock cameras. '74th minute. '74th minute. Well, I've always been anti-interventionist. That was the red line. And it wasn't even a meaningful war. It was a dumbass gambit that he got roped into. Just like other presidents. Well, that happened. Let's be honest. It was in the making for a whole year. That happened first. I mean, you can't say you're going to drop the Epstein files and then just say, nope, they're a hoax. I mean, you can't do that either. But the interventionism was first. That came first. Last game, Miami's going to play Messi, or not play Messi against Leon. Either way. No, it's not going to happen. Best case scenario, the CPL's added back to the Central American Cup. Best case scenario. I wish they never were taken out. But either way. Yeah, he did, though. Yeah, FDR did disrespect Jesse Owens. Yeah, he did. But at the Olympics, who did respect Jesse Owens? I've never liked Franklin Delano Roosevelt anyway, so I don't know what your point is. Header. I never liked Franklin Delano Roosevelt, so I don't know what your point is. I mean, I know what your point is, but it doesn't change my mind on Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I thought he was shit the whole time. I thought he was a big government shill the whole time. I've never been a fan of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Never have. Veneca Comunista. I've never been a fan of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but, I mean, that tracks. Either way. JFK. Now, JFK, on the other hand, if you want to talk about Democratic... Yeah, Kushner owns EA, I know. But JFK, RFK, they're good in my book. RFK Sr., of course. RFK Sr. was one of the most what-if politicians ever. But they got him killed, too. Also, Huey Long. Eddie Ocampo on for Sabali. Huey Long, every man a king. Huey Long was also a what-if politician. I think Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt. Love Teddy Roosevelt. Love George Washington. Love JFK. Love RFK. Love Huey Long. Cross in. And Vancouver ties the game. 1-1. (1-1), 79th minute. And it's a tie game. Oh, good for the Whitecaps. Tie game. Let's see if Tigres can come back. I mean, that's why you don't give a team possession after you get a 1-0 lead, but what a shot. Wait, was that Emmanuel Sabi? Emmanuel Sabi. Emmanuel Sabi. '80th minute. Is this offside, possibly? Goal. It is a goal. We got 10 minutes to see if Tigres could take the lead. Here comes Vancouver. Sabi still has the ball. Oh, also Ron Paul. Also, Ron Paul never got killed, but Ron Paul got screwed by the RNC. Ron Paul, man, we'd be so better off if Ron Paul won in 2008 or 2012. At least a nomination. Ugh. Austin Peterson, also Libertarian 2016. Really? Gary Johnson over Austin Peterson? What a mistake by the Libertarian Party. What a mistake. What a mistake. Or, hell, even John McAfee. Oh, by the way, John McAfee didn't kill himself. I'm sure he got... John McAfee didn't kill himself. '82nd minute. Cross in. Yeah, I'm a Ron Paul libertarian. Ron Paul was like the Republican Bernie Sanders. He wasn't really Republican. He was libertarian. He just used the Republican Party as a vehicle. And then they screwed him. Just like the DNC screwed Bernie. Just like the DNC screwed Bernie. And I agree with... Hey, you know what? I agree with that. I understand that. No problem. No problem. And honestly, with a lot of social issues, I'm probably more liberal than conservative. At least publicly. I mean, I have my own beliefs, personally, but publicly, like for the collective, I'm a lot more liberal on social issues. Socially liberal, fiscally conservative, as a libertarian normally is. Whether it's anarcho-capitalist or even minarchist or just Hoppian or whatever. But I have my beliefs. But for the collective, I'm not going to step on people's toes. Like, am I going to smoke weed? Probably not. But should weed be legal? Yes. I'm not going to smoke weed, but should weed be legal? Yes. Am I straight? Yeah. Do I see the LGBTQ as valid? And they should be able to live their life the way they want? Yes. That's on them. That's their life. I'm not going to step on anybody's toes. Point is, here's my take. I want gay couples to be able to have AK-47s to protect their marijuana farm. You know, that's the line, so to speak. And I don't want it to be taxed. So, See, we agree on more. See, there you go. There it is. Okay, now, weed should be legal. Use of other drugs, cocaine, meth, speed, should be decriminalized. Now, the sale of those drugs, speed, cocaine, meth, should be illegal. The trafficking of those drugs should be illegal. But of use should be decriminalized. But if somebody's caught using those harder drugs, they should be put into a rehab instead of jail, is what I mean by decriminalized. Weed should be completely legalized. But the way you get rid of fentanyl is still keep criminal the trafficking and the sale of the hard drugs and decriminalize the use, the personal use. But still send, if that person is caught in their car, okay, maybe, or in some way, shape, or form, caught using. Only to their, if it's a personal amount and whatever, decriminalized. I don't know if I'd say legalized completely for like the hard stuff. I don't know if I'd say that. But weed, though, completely legal. Anything, completely legal. Ugh. Red card for Linez. Either way, 88th minute. Linez red carded. And he got second yellow. Straight red. Did he curse at the ref? Either way. But again, if you criminalize the sale and criminalize the trafficking of the drug, maybe you'd have to have more over. But then again, I guess if you legalize it, there'd be oversight, and that's how. I actually could debate that, to be honest. But I still feel like you can't just have people on cocaine like you would smoke weed. I mean, it's not hurting anybody else but the person who takes it, but I can't think. Like, legalizing cocaine, that's why libertarians get nowhere. I think decriminalizing is like the easy fix of like, you don't want to put somebody in jail for taking it just because they took it, but it's still a hard drug. Like, I don't think you're threading an eye of a needle there, and I mean, you're threading an eye of a needle there. Well, good for you. What is this game? Alcoholics versus potheads versus cokeheads. I know who I trust. Potheads. I mean, '90th minute. I mean, I don't exactly. What did Linez say to the ref? He probably cursed him out. '90th minute. 5 minutes of stoppage time. We might have a shootout. Got to make it legal to regulate it. Oh, yeah, 1-1. Thank you. My bad. Caught. See if Tigres could take the lead or damn. Well, they cooked themselves. I'm sure it has. I guess you're right, but and a red card for Noel. This game's off the rails. Noel gets a red card. 2 red cards for Tigres. They're down to 9. Nahuel is off. Oh my God. Nahuel is red carded. He's off. Whoa. Does that mean somebody's got to jump in goal? No, they do have subs to make. They do have subs to make. Wow. And he kicked the ball away. Red card. This game's off the rails. Wow. And Tigres is in 5th place. They have to win the shootout just for a chance to advance. It's going to be tough, though. Nahuel. They will make a sub in goal, and it looks like it's going to be Felipe Rodriguez. 2 men off. It's down to 9. Sadly enough, there's not much to chew on with the actual game, and I really don't want to discuss just like red card drama, to be honest. So even if this game ends up an outright win for Vancouver or a penalty shootout, I'm just going to leave the stream. Does Apple TV have a free trial? I think it does. Yeah, I mean, it is just a whatever thing. You're right. It always was a whatever thing. Well, anybody with half a brain. Nahuel's getting taken off, and it's Rodriguez coming on. Yeah, Apple TV has a free trial. Oh my goodness, this is madness. Sadly enough, the more to talk about this game is like red card. Oh, he pushed the ref. Nahuel pushed the ref. Oh, you dumbass. Nahuel pushed the ref. What the hell? Why you gotta be that dumb? Like, the bad thing about this game is the bulk of this game is boring. Like, I really don't want to make an RSR just discussing what's it called? Just discussing red card drama. Smoking weed in public is no worse than drinking in public. Yeah, and you can drink in public as long as you're not in your car. Well, I mean, they're both depressants. Then also you kind of have the gray area of like, should there be DUIs for smoking weed in a car? That could turn into hurting people. Maybe there should be a higher limit of the cannabis in your body than alcohol, because I think alcohol is more of a depressant, or at least hits harder. But then you have a little bit of a. Then again, either way, alcohol causes more deaths. There's people get DUIs all the time. I'm just saying. But if it's completely legal, then again, alcohol is completely legal. So either way, header. I mean, alcohol is completely legal. So either way, at least it's not prohibition anymore. Well, okay, no, I mean, for anybody over 21, it's completely legal. You shouldn't drink it when you're pregnant, but I don't know. I've never heard about it. So Reyes and Franco are off. Rodriguez and Di Maria de Campos playing for Vancouver. They're up a man. Well, up 2 men, actually. Would be crazy if they won outright. I mean, I wouldn't do that. 95th minute. But either way, DUIs are a very expensive fight. Exactly. Very expensive fight, yeah. Because the police have quotas of how many tickets they got to give out. And if they could get you for a DUI, they're going to do it. Even if you're barely guilty, they're still going to get your ass for it. Tickets and arrests. But either way. maybe, but either way. 96th minute. Goal kick for Tigres. Or Vancouver. Can Vancouver win late? I mean, they got the room to do so, and it's full time. We're going to another shootout. Vancouver had a break, and we're going to a shootout. 1-1. We got another shootout, and that's where we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it where it is. We're going to do the shootout and leave it where it is. We'll be back for the Super Cup tomorrow. No review. Sit tight, be back. Short break. We're back for the stats of the half. Yeah, I agree with that. But then again, I guess if you get taken in, you have to blow a breathalyzer anyway. But either way, here we go. Penalty shootout, and we'll be done for the day. 1-1 after penalties or extra regular time. We got a shootout. Who will get the points? Tigres probably will not advance with this shootout win, but they need it to have any chance, any semblance of a chance of advancement. They need the penalty shootout win. Well, they're all draws. Well, head-to-head wise, I don't think they'll get it anyway. But either way, coin toss and we'll get underway. No review because the bulk of the review is going to be about red card drama, and frankly, I don't want to talk about that. So, that's how boring this game was. The bulk of the review is going to be red card drama, and I frankly don't want to talk about that. So we're just going to leave that as this is a stream, and I'll set up on the Rumble side the Super Cup, and I'll see you for the Super Cup. Either way. So what does this mean for Toluca? That means for Toluca, if they get 6 points, well, they have a +2 goal differential, and they have 3 goals scored, like Cruz Azul and León do. You got to hope León doesn't beat Miami or even draw Miami. You got to hope Miami wins outright, and you got to hope America or Cruz Azul lose if you win. So basically, you got to hope León, Cruz Azul, or America lose, at least one of them, and you got to win your game. And that's nothing to say of Monterrey or, well, nothing to say of Monterrey either. I mean, goal differential-wise, you got a +2 goal differential. But if Cruz Azul or León draw or win, they're going to be ahead on points. Or America. Juan Brunetta to take for Tigres. Basically, Toluca's job is to help Portland at this point. Honestly. Tigres Vancouver. Juan Brunetta to take the shootout. The first penalty of the shootout. Stutter step. Shot goal. 1-0. 1-0. Juan Brunetta. Juan Brunetta scores. Either way. And it's going to be for Vancouver. And it's going to be Ryan Gould. Ryan Gould, shot goal, 1-1. Uno. Well, some people are so mad at the Leagues Cup that they agree with them voting for Infantino to go to CONMEBOL. So maybe there are people. Fernando Gorejan. Fernando Gorejan penalty. Yeah, I remember that battle royal. Team NXT versus Nexus. Shot! Goal! Top bins. 2-1. 2-1. Tigres. Substitution for the Vancouver shoot. Emmanuel Sabi, who tied the game. Emmanuel Sabi for his penalty. Shot goal! Emmanuel Sabi keeps it 2-2. Dos. Tigres' team NXT and Vancouver's team Nexus. Fair enough. And Salt Lake won 3-0. Esteli beat Alianza 3-1. Saprissa beat Mixco 3-0. Buffalo Aguirre. Rodrigo Buffalo Aguirre. Two. Dos. They get to 8 penalty takers. They got to use save by Bemer. Bemer makes the save. 2-2. 2-2. Vancouver can take the lead. Bemer makes the save. But was his foot on the line as the ball was kicked? This might be a questionable one. Bemer made the save. Oliver Larraz. Oliver Larraz to take a penalty. If he takes and scores it, Vancouver's in the lead. Oliver Larraz. Goal! 3-2. 2-3. Vancouver gets a penalty. Well, they haven't had it yet. But Vancouver might get a penalty shootout win here. At least they won't finish on 0 points. They were already eliminated, but this is them possibly keeping pride for themselves. Winning a shootout in El Volcan's pretty damn good, I gotta say. That's pretty respectable. Romulo to take the penalty. Romulo. Shot! Goal! Rolls it in. 3-3. 3-3. If Vancouver misses, it's even once again. Okay, that sounds delicious. Damn. I'm hungry. Damn, I'm hungry. And it is Edier Ocampo. Edier Ocampo. Edier Ocampo has to score to put Vancouver in the catbird seat, whether it's miss or score by Tigres. Edier Ocampo. Edier Ocampo to put Vancouver in the catbird seat. He does! It's 4-3. 3-4. 3-4. And here we go. From Diego Sanchez. If he scores, Vancouver has to go. If he misses, it's over. Diego Sanchez to keep Tigres alive. Straight down the middle. He starts his run. He goes wide. Runs up. Shot. Goal. 4-4. 4-4. Vancouver for the win. Vancouver has to score to win. One more penalty, at least. If Vancouver misses, we're going to sudden death. Vancouver scores. Well, they're on the catbird seat, but they got to make the mistake. Or there's got to be a save by Felipe Rodriguez. Matthias Laborda. Laborda for the win. They survived a game in El Volcan to get to penalties, even though they were already eliminated. Lots of fight from Vancouver. Laborda saved! And it's going to sudden death. You thought we were getting off this roller coaster, eh? 4-4, 4-4. Laborda misses, saved by Rodriguez, and we go to another penalty. And we are what? One more penalty by Tigres away? Wait. I think we're still like 3 away from goalies, but either way. And don't, let's see. Shot! Saved! Saved, and Garza misses. Garza misses. Bemmer with a save. Match point, Vancouver. Jesus Garza misses. Saved. 4-4, 4-4. Vancouver, match point, and it's Ralph Prizo. Ralph Prizo, come on. Prizo. Leon Bailey to MLS. Ralph Prizo, shot saved! We go to another penalty. Still 4-4, 4-4. Leon Bailey's been rejected by Hull City. He's going to be better than Dwight York, they said. Okay, that's shocking. I can't believe Hull City rejected Leon Bailey. Wow. That's crazy. It's a penalty shootout, yes. And that is going to be Joaquim. If we could go 2 more rounds of penalties, we're going to see Tigres' goalie go. Joaquim. Then we're going to see Di Maria y Campos. Shot! Goal! Top bins! 5-4. 5-4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Vancouver has to score to keep this alive. And it looks like we're going to get Vancouver penalty. Shot over the bar. Alumi puts it over and it's over. Ryan Alumi bottles it. 5-4 Tigres. 1-1 on the night. 5-4 on penalties. And Vancouver loses the extra point. Because of the format, penalty shootouts are an extra point. It's been this way during every Leagues Cup format with a group stage. So, yeah, but you get an extra point for winning a shootout after a draw. Either way, so this is normal procedure. Vancouver wins. I mean, I kind of agree, but either way, Vancouver wins or loses on the shootout. The Tigres win on the shootout. But is that enough for them to advance? Probably not. Oh, they got 7 points with a draw. 4, 5, 6. No, that's not. 2, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 points. Votmob's got it wrong. Either way, for now. With that being said, Felipe Rodriguez makes the saves he needs. Tigres win the game. Bad game. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Notification once subscribed. Send some chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlists. Share with friends and family. Hit that hype button. Put this up in the algorithm. Hit that join button. Become a member. Send some chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlists. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I'll see you tomorrow. 2 p.m. Central, 3 Eastern for the Super Cup. PSG versus Aston Villa. Then we'll be live for Miami versus Leon. And then Toluca, Dallas tomorrow. So 3 streams and 2 reviews. Super Cup and then the Toluca game will be the reviews. At least that's the plan. With that being said, we will do the Super Cup review, but we'll see if the other 2, we'll see if the Toluca game's worth it. But with that being said, and then Thursday, of course, Alianza Panama versus Umesi live in the Central American Cup. Portland versus Tijuana live RSR. So that's what Thursday is. So I'll see you tomorrow for the Super Cup in about, 14 hours or so. I'll see you soon. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. No review tonight because I don't want to talk about red card drama, really. For a bulk of a review. It's not worth it. With that being said, peace. See you.